bad today. Extremely bad.
Any more questions? Eric?
That's it.
Right side? Nope. All good. Thanks, guys.
We're good?
Yeah, all good. Any more questions? Eric?
That's it.
Right side? Nope. All good. Thanks, guys.
We're good?
Yeah, all good.
Montreal scores on this power play. I'll buy a Habs jersey right now. I need a jersey. Should I get a McKenna Habs jersey? The same thing that's on this one. I need it on the Habs jersey. Decline, 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 decline. No, no. Can I get a bigger C? Is that as big as it gets? That's like a boyfriend-sized C. That's not big enough. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. I'm your captain now. I don't even know what to say, man. You like the jersey? I'm glad someone likes it, because I don't. Montreal scores on this power play. I'll buy a Habs jersey right now.
Yeah.
Basically, he walked into
The fact that like he had a Leafs jersey on is like, brother.
Good day. We have way too much information to get through in this video because it's been a little bit delayed because I'm pretty sure Imperial Halal firebombed my apartment building. Okay, that might be a bit extreme, but there was a massive fire in the electrical room, so my entire apartment block is currently running on a generator. And everything, including the internet, is down, so we're doing this from the mobile hotspot. Because so much has happened in the last few days, and we need to respond to some things and give you some really good anti-cheat update information that hasn't even been released to the public yet. But I'm pretty confident I can report on this finally, because now there's multiple confirmed cases of people having their consoles banned. But first things first, we need to respond to this.
By the way, if anyone comes in my chat and just starts like, you know, making fun of me about cheating and RC filter, is perma banning you. I like genuinely don't care. If you guys just that like to like believe anything that you see, then you just don't deserve to be typing.
What do you mean?
Not even just my chat. People,
What do you mean, though?
people are
It's
genuinely
cheating.
brain dead, bro.
People are so dumb. You can't fix it.
It's like harder. It's genuinely harder trying to argue or explain something to a stupid person than like trying to understand that someone is smart.
You
Like,
don't.
someone that
Brother. You don't even know the technology behind it and what it does. All you know is that it actually does help you.
is smart. That is like literally the hardest thing on earth to do. Like there's people that genuinely think that I'm like.
What is he gonna say now? People generally think that what?
Like cheating Like people actually.
No, we know you're not cheating. But currently, with the controller that you are using, yes, you are using a third-party software that helps your aim, which is cheating.
You think I'm cheating, and then Jen Burton is also just enough to talk about it on stream and say that I'm cheating and
Yes, because he knows it's true.
make random shit up. He's just a dumbass. Zeus just needs to kill himself in game.
I know this guy is a narcissist with a massive ego, but I need to make something incredibly clear. You can attack me on all fronts, Hal. You can say I'm the worst person ever. You can say I'm ugly, I'm dumb, I'm stupid. But the reality is, telling someone to Alt F4 is so disconnected from reality that I'm actually surprised it came from you. Him saying that affects me zero. But it just goes to show how narcissistic and disconnected from reality this guy truly
Yeah,
is.
really.
Every single person watching this video, I guarantee you, at some point in their life, have been impacted by somebody Alt F4ing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That is the sad reality of this world. Mental health in all countries seems to be on a downwards trend. I don't want to make this incredibly clear. This is not something you ever direct at somebody specifically. You have no idea what an individual is going through. And the reality is this happens all too often. Now, Hal is so disconnected from reality. He's very socially stunted. He's spent his entire life dedicating himself to video games, which has worked out for him personally. But I think it's got to the point where he's so socially stunted that he just doesn't understand how serious a statement like that can be when he has thousands of viewers suggesting anybody to do that. Like, his idea of a date is going on Discord. His idea of a girlfriend is somebody that lives in a different country to him. This guy's idea of a party is 3-stacking on Apex Legends and killing plats and golds. The disconnect from the real world can be very evident if you look at Hal from an outside perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him the pass, but I just do want to say, I had somebody in my chat yesterday who had been hit by a train, and I was like, how the fuck did you get hit by the train? And then he went in ahead and told his story a little bit, where he had a dependence of drugs, and it sounded like he had an attempt to Alt F4 in the real life. What ended up happening is somehow he survived. I don't know how he survived getting hit by a train, ended up in hospital, and is now living in his car and has a job at a bowling rink, and is trying to rebuild his life and turn things around. And the moral of that story is basically no matter how bad it is, you can turn things around and improve things. Like, the highs wouldn't be so high without the lows that everyone watching this video has. And even though you might have thoughts at times that ending it is the right answer, it absolutely is not. You can turn anything around, you're in control, but no matter where you're at life, whether you're dependent on certain things, or you're at the lowest point right now, trust me, tomorrow is a new day. You can turn it around. You can get through this. I don't want anyone to think Alt F4ing is the answer, because I've personally known people in my life that have made that decision, and it fucking sucks for everybody involved. When they're at their lowest, they feel like no one cares, no one loves them, when that couldn't be further from the truth. But real quick, back to responding to Hal, he calls everyone an idiot, dumb, and he's just gonna ban them. I have multiple video evidence of you cheating, Hal. Like, the reality is, you did cheat, you used the jitter on its maximum. I have quite literal video evidence of you on multiple controllers. So here's the left stick. Now, this is a stick that you don't aim with, so obviously he hasn't put any jitter to it. There's no advantage to having a jitter, so it's got no filtering applied at all. It's dead set in the center. Now, it is his aim stick, and look, he's got the jitter completely maxed out. 24 hours after I made this video, GameSir actually removed the jitter entirely from their controller because they didn't want to be associated with, obviously, it being exploited and using to cheat in Apex. So the ability to jitter on GameSir has been removed. I explained how it's exactly the same as other cheating devices like the Zen, Strike Pack, and Zim, that have similar features to always enable stuff like rotational aim assist and to reduce recoil. I've already proved everything. What he does end up doing is hyper-focusing on a mistake that Jen made when he talked about this incident. Jen is correct in saying it's cheating. He believes Hal cheated, and he's correct in believing that because there's video evidence of that being the case, that Hal was using this for months. But what Jen didn't understand is that he thought Hal cheated on the previous LAN by using RC filter due to Google search giving him bad information. Hal on the last LAN was not cheating. The controller he was using at the time did not have the RC filter exploit on it. What it did have was software that you could change wirelessly. So the anti-cheat team banned that controller not for the entirety of the LAN, but just for one singular day until they figured out how to remove that firmware, because multiple people were using that controller. Obviously, if you can remotely change the firmware, something like a recoil script could be enabled by someone in the stage after the anti-cheat team had reviewed the controller and cleared it, because all peripherals need to be checked by the anti-cheat team for malicious software or malicious firmware. And obviously, being able to manipulate that after the anti-cheat team had cleared it is an obvious violation and could be used to cheat, so they were right in banning it until that firmware was disabled, which it was the very next day. So all the people that use that controller could continue to use that controller for the remainder of the LAN. Obviously, Hal has been unable to discredit anything I've said, because everything I've said is based on facts. So instead, he spends his time lashing out on Jen. But that's enough about this piece of shit, because we got some exciting news that I have reported on earlier in my last video, but at the time, it was just a rumor and a leak, which now is confirmed. From June 9th to June 23rd, we will be conducting the following test in Ranked. Ranked will be solo queue only for all players Diamond and above. A few things on this. As I said before, Diamond players should really not be included in this. The reality is over 30% of the player base hit Diamond last season. The majority of these guys are just casual people that get home after work and want to run a few games with their homies, and I don't believe they should be restricted in this, because in all other games that implement this feature, which there's a lot of them, right? No game wants massive imbalances in Ranked. Ranked should be about balance and fighting people of similar skill, which Apex has really struggled at doing because it prioritizes fast matchmaking over balanced games. I hate that, but it is what it is. Anyway, so now you'll only be able to solo queue in the higher ranks. Now, there's obviously pros and cons to this. One of the pros is boosting is an epidemic, especially over on console. All the cheaters boosting players, they will be unable to do that now without having to cheat on the person's account that they're boosting, massively increasing the chance that that player will get banned, which is a good thing. Makes it much harder to boost. Will probably reduce the overall cheating in Ranked from that alone. Two, if you are a solo queue player, you're much more likely to get good teammates and balanced games. It won't just be a Pred 3-stack running down a bunch of plat and golds. Like, if you ready up, you're more likely to get a pro or a master player or something that along that lines on your team, making your experience more enjoyable. Obviously, for the people that dedicate their entire lives to Apex, play 12 plus hours a day, and are the Pred rank, a lot of them are gonna hate this. They won't be able to run down lobbies. But honestly, it's really interesting to see how this plays out. I'm really hoping for healthier ranked games, better end games, people using more communication, a much more competitive environment. I honestly think this test will be a good thing. You're all gonna have to jump on and find out for yourself though. Does this increase the player count, increase the draw to ranked, make it more competitive? I honestly think it will. I honestly think this will be a good change. You can have your own opinion, but honestly, I'm kind of annoyed that Diamonds are affected by this, as it doesn't make much sense. The imbalance was the Pred and the pros running down the lower ranks. Diamond players were never the issue, and should, in my mind, still be able to 3-stack, because most of them actually have lives, jobs, and go outside, and aren't like no-life virgins that dedicate their entire life to Apex and cause these imbalances. The best news to happen to Apex anti-cheat in a long time. Multiple confirmed cases of this happening to people abusing the aimbot Titan device. Do you know if you can get a console ban? Question mark, question mark. I don't know why every time I get on, I get this now. And he's showcasing that he's unable to log into Apex from his console device. I did mention there was rumors of this before, but I haven't been able to confirm it. But now there are several that I've seen that have gotten console banned and have been unable to play Apex from their console. And that has been what I've been preaching for so long has needed to happen. And by the looks of it, they've pulled it off. I don't know why they're not flexing this, because they just released an update on the anti-cheat flexing how many of these people they have banned last season, with over 139,000 bans for accounts using various cheating, from DMA to spoofing, meaning they got hardware banned previously. And what a spoofer is, it tries to get around that hardware ban by pretending to be new hardware, but they detect the spoofer, getting them banned. And also Titan and Zim at almost 4,000 bans. But now, we might see these Titan and Zim bans go down if they start getting console banned, because these dumb motherfuckers are spending thousands of dollars just to get their console banned and having to buy a whole new one to play Apex Legends. That is the biggest W out of everything I've heard so far. I want a number on how many consoles have been banned, and I want to see that number go up. Because that is the most incredible thing that I've seen so far, with multiple confirmed cases of people not being able to play Apex Legends after cheating by using a Titan device. Basically, they go on to say that they've had their lowest match infection rate ever hit Apex at 4.1%. Now, the reason I take that with a grain of salt is the method they use to collect that data is, in my mind, flawed. It's counted as an infected match if one singular person gets reported 3 times in a match. Now, obviously, that's not always going to happen. Even if someone's cheating, they might not get reported every match, let alone 3 times in one match. They would have to be rage hacking their tits off and have people actually use the report feature, which not all people use. I suggest you start using it to give them better data. But at this point in time, I would take this 4.1% with a grain of salt. But they have been cooking in the detection department more than any other game developer, I would have to say. Because even on the DMA front, which is the most common cheating device, people are recommending over on the DMA forums to not even use a DMA, which was previously the hardest to detect cheating device, but Easy Anti-Cheat have been cooking them all, detecting the firmware they use to hide from the game, and detecting the DMA device itself. They spend hundreds of dollars on the device and then hundreds of dollars on the firmware just to get detected and banned. So they're literally just pissing their money down the drain and not even able to cheat on Apex. So it's great news over on the PC side of the world, but I do want to make a separate video going way more in depth in that, explaining the device, explaining why they're getting caught, and even going in and showing you the guys that have been using this device. So we're going to do that at a later date. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. But I just want to brush over everything in this video. And speaking of Titans, I know a lot of people fundamentally don't really understand it, and this is a great way of showcasing it in a different video game, kind of how it works. A lot of you guys know it's AI aimbot, but are unsure of its functionality. So just watch this.
Look at ADSs and it goes to the spray instead of the guy at the bottom of the steps. Yo, he's actually snapping on my things! Yo, it actually...
She got the wrong number.
snaps on the spray called Threat Marked in the store. Spend some COD points, and then you have the console anti-cheat.
So obviously it's an AI built to target enemies and aim and shoot for the player, because they're obviously glue sniffing idiots that are incapable of doing the simplest thing. And this spray was working at tricking the AI into locking onto it and shooting at it. But not only is that video a great way of explaining it for people that struggle to understand, but
That's
it's
crazy.
just fucking funny as hell, trolling cheaters. Now, speaking of cheaters, this is a cheater I've exposed in the past for using a software called Rewas to get aim assist on mouse and keyboard.
I don't belong in the kitchen.
Right! COD lobbies are just the greatest. Get off COD and into the kitchen, bitch! Seconds later.
I don't belong in the kitchen.
I can't, bro. But on the positive side of things, I think she's turned her career around and stopped cheating. I think a big exclamation mark question.
Пацаны, да сладкие они, не ссыте.
Saw his boy, but I didn't think.
Mark there. I wouldn't place too much trust in that, but she did apologize. 30-minute apology video, which was just a lot of excuses, and has since gone back to using mouse and keyboard without the added aim assist and cheat software by the looks of things. So if that's true, good on her, but get in the kitchen. Let's end the video in the best way possible. What are those? Ain't no way, Apex Gooners, bro. Bro, this is what every Apex pred needs. It's the only one they're gonna get. Anyway, that is all for today, guys. I thought I'd give you the latest and greatest information on what's happening over here on Apex. A bit of an everything video, not a focus video, but I hope...
Well, well, well.
What's your background in the government? What are these three-letter agencies that you used to be a part of?
Okay, so I graduated with a doctorate, and I went to the Institute for Defense Analyses, Center for Communication Research in Princeton, New Jersey. They serve as a think tank for the intelligence community. So while there, you are allowed to work on the problems you choose and with the people you wish.
Okay.
It's a really awesome place for guys like me, and it was full of guys like me. So I worked for the National Security Agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, and a joint activity they have, which is known as SCS. And then on occasion, I would get detailed to help the FBI and other things. So it was whoever detailed me, I could go and work for them. And I wound up doing operations overseas and went to 72 countries when I never thought that would ever be my background. It just evolved.
And what were you doing?
I was doing technical intelligence gathering at the pointy edge of the sword all over the world for 10 years. And Director Tennant gave me the Intelligence Community SEAL Medallion for that work.
What time frame are we talking?
So it started in the 1990 and then ended in 1990. It took off in the field in the 1996, and that went on until 2010. And but my last true ridiculous field operation, let me put it this way: it began in October of 2001 and ended in April of 2002, and I had to take a break.
Whoa.
It was not nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was not nice. It's not for everybody.
Intelligence gathering, human intelligence.
Human intelligence or electronic intelligence or signals intelligence, whatever needed to be done. I was known as MacGyver because I could get it done for, baling wire and bubble gum. And I did it all over the world.
So you were technical?
Technical, very technical intelligence gathering person.
Wow.
It was fun.
Sounds fun.
72 countries. I mean, how many people get to do that on somebody else's nickel?
How much of that stuff can you talk about?
Some of it I will never be able to talk about. Some of it I can talk about. I like to talk about, for the typical UAP audience, I like to talk about when I was on the USS Blue Ridge and when I was on the USS Hampton, because everything that happened there that we did as officially was absolutely as classified as it can be. But the things I'm going to tell you about, no one ever said anything to me. I signed no non-disclosure agreement. They didn't tell me it was classified, so I tell the story. 1997, I got on the USS Hampton, which is a Los Angeles-class nuclear submarine, and we did operations for a while. And the operations took us in near coastlines where we gathered intelligence. So one time we had to go out and meet a tender way out in the middle of nowhere so no one could easily find us. And we were on their way out there. We were running deep, running fast, and this really loud racket went right by the boat. And I mean, the senior master chief came out of sonar and he said, "Sir, it's a fast walker. It's moving faster than the speed of sound in incompressible water, hundreds of meters below the surface." And that was my first experience ever of an unidentified submerged object. And I looked around. Nobody would look in my eye. They wouldn't speak while I was in the room. So I said, sir, I'm going to go back to my little cubicle. And he says, fine. And I left. And nobody said anything to me about not saying it. So here I am telling it. I heard an unidentified submerged object with my own ears and felt the impact on the nuclear submarine as it went by. So then later on, after my field
He
stuff,
called it a fast walker?
fast walker. That's what they called it. That was their term. That nobody explained it to me, but it's pretty clear. This thing, water is incompressible. That means it won't mash. You can't mash it in any way. And it was moving so fast without turbulence, which is called cavitation underwater.
Right.
It was, to me, it was a physics miracle. I understood immediately that nothing I knew about on Earth could ever do it. I knew it was not us. Instantly knew. Okay, so then in 2008, I was on the Blue Ridge. I was doing a technical classified intelligence operation, so I can't talk about that. But we went through the Sea of Japan in the middle of a typhoon, and the typhoon was crazy, and I was loving it while everybody was sick to their stomach. And I was up on the bridge with the captain's permission, and we were doing like this in about 40 or 50 foot seas, 90 knot winds, and I noticed just all of a sudden the rain stopped. We were not in the eye, we were in a wall, and the rain stopped. I says, how does the rain stop in the eye wall of a typhoon? So I went forward, looked out the window, and about 100 meters above the ship, I could see glowing lights that I had no idea what it was. I couldn't make out the structure. I could just see the glowing lights, but it was blocking the rain from the entire 450-foot long vessel. Whatever this was huge. So I turned around and says, do you guys have anything on radar? What? No, nothing. I says, well, you might want to come look at this. They started walking over, and I looked up. As I looked up, the lights got really bright and boom, straight up, because had twirling air going up. You could see the vortices from the air going up, and it was gone, and the rain came back. Whatever it was an unidentified aerial phenomenon larger than the flagship of the 7th Fleet. It was my second time with a naval vessel seeing something that was so odd. And so this is the kind of stuff that's in my mind.
How old are you at this point?
So let's see, it's 2008. Okay. So I was born in 1954. So you get to 54 years old.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, Danny. It was crazy.
Is that the event that kind of sparked your interest in the whole UFO
That sparked
phenomenon?
me, but I had more years in service, and I knew how people were treated. So in 2011, I became the director of research and the chief scientist for the Hume Center for National Security and Technology, and joined the faculty at Virginia Tech. Now, Ted Hume was director of science and technology of the Central Intelligence Agency. So
that's the person who knows where all the skeletons are. When it comes
he knows
to UFO
everything,
crash
but he never told me anything.
Right.
Okay.
But if somebody does know where all of the
science
UFOs
and technology
are,
people
that person
will know
would.
it. They
Right.
would know it.
Right.
Okay, because science and technology would be the branch of the CIA that would be trying to exploit it through programs and other things. So I went to work there, and during that period of time, I had to go to a kind of an internal convention, internal to the community convention.
Excuse me. Fuck, I forgot to turn off the window. I just pressed pause. hate how it always takes me a few raids to like warm up. Like my clicks and my keys are not on point. I would have been dead. Where the did he run back towards these ways? No, he didn't. He loots armory and doesn't go cardinal. I don't get it. Like, where are they going? Fucking BTR is shooting. Can I shoot the guy coming out of it? This bullet sucks from far though. I really don't know what these other two guys were doing though. Wait, they killed Kolontai and the guards? And I didn't hear shit?
Вроде никого.
Oh, what the? That was a weird raid. But hey, I'm alive.
It was a National Reconnaissance Office, and so while I was there, I had people call me up to their office, and they showed me all sorts of things, including pictures of stuff that I could not believe existed. Okay, so that went on, and then I joined. I got an idea that this weird stuff was going on, so I joined the Richard Dolan community. I became the admin and administrator of the Richard Dolan Forum, which I am until right now. I still am. And Richard Dolan interviewed Christopher Bledsoe in 4 one-hour segments. And I went, I think I need to go see this guy. He's only 120 miles from me in Blacksburg. Let me go over to North Carolina. So I went over, and Chris took 2.5 or 3 weeks to respond to me. And he said, okay, you can come over. I says, I know about your dead scientist friend, and I thought you might want another scientist friend to help you get an idea of what's going on with all these orbs and other stuff.
When is this?
2020.
Got it.
January 2020, I went to Bledsoe's. And we had 3 rainy nights, and he told me basically everything that ever happened to him in those 3 days, because we had a lot of time together. And then it cleared off. We went outside, and you could see this look come over his face. And when it did, a gigantic 40-foot orb flashed into existence right above the trees. And it moved around and moved around and moved in ways that nothing like that could move. No sound, looked like plasma, but it was just right above the trees, and it moved off. Well, I guess we got one, Chris. He says, you cannot believe what an honor. He says, I have never seen anyone have that happen to him except you. And so I says, great, well, tell Ryan so he can come out here and see that. So Ryan, his son, Bledsoe, does Bledsoe Said So, came out, and then we had another one that was well off toward one of the Air Force bases, and it boomed into existence, went over the trees, did its thing, moved off, and Ryan was ecstatic because he had seen stuff, but never one that large. It was at least 40 feet across, right above the trees, and it moved off and vanished.
Wow.
So inside the trees, you could see these things that looked like flash bulbs going off. And that's when my mind started clicking. If these are pulses in electromagnetic energy that I can see, these are pulses that I can collect with technical equipment and see what I can figure out about them. So that my mind was already going. And then then I went, here, not out loud, right here. Wow, I wish they would come out of the trees where I could see them. In less than a second, boom, right up out of the trees and into the sky. They had read my mind. And I knew it instantly. That's how it happened. Then we were out there for a little while, not much happened. And then I began to notice this, what looked like the surface of a pond rippling right above the trees, but it was purple and glowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris couldn't turn his neck up at the time because of his arthritis. I says, there's this purple glowing stuff above here, Chris. He says, yeah, that happens some. Not often, but it happens. And then I looked and kept looking, wanted to know what happened next. And it went, and this disappeared like somebody turned off a light switch. And without blinking an eye, Chris said, not 1 second later, Chris said, okay, they're gone. They're done for the night. We can go inside. And he never once looked up. He is. I knew then he was absolutely in communication with whatever that was.
What do you think that shit is?
I don't know. I'm just going to tell you, like any good scientist, I saw that stuff, but I don't know what it is. But now you understand why I got into all of this as a scientist, etc.
That was sort of the biggest thing that drew you in.
Biggest thing that drew me in was being with Chris Bledsoe. And one more fact. When I got there, he said, you know why you're here? And I says, because you wanted to talk to me and see if I could help. He says, no. You're here because Jim Semivan told me to let you in, that it would be interesting. And, Jim Semivan was like a big, huge deal in the clandestine service at the CIA and was Chris's friend.
Right.
And he had told me to let me in, so here we are. And I began having experiences like very rapidly since.
What do you make of all these crazy, spooky people becoming super interested in befriending him because of his stories? And
Well, that's a very good thing. He's my friend. So let me do one more thing, and you'll get my attitude. I left, went home, and had stuff follow me home. It's called Hitchhiker. Within 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, we had weird experiences in our home, and so we had squirts of water appear out of the air and hit me on my leg and on my chest. That's okay. We're good. Okay. On my head and on my chest, and
squirts of water.
Squirts of water. That's what I thought it was. I couldn't tell because it looked like water.
Yeah.
And then I heard squeal at the other end, and she was down there washing clothes. I went down there quickly, and squirts of water were on her clothes and on the floor. I said, "Did you get squirted?" She says, "Yeah," and it came out real air. So I called Chris up, and I said, "Chris, I know you've got this talk coming up at UFOCon in San Francisco. I'm going to work with Laurie Wagner, who is a well-known person in Los Angeles, to help you write this talk." And he says, "Oh, I'm so grateful because I'm so scared about doing this." I said, "Well, we'll help you. Don't worry." So he gave his first public talk at UFOCon in 2020 on the evidence he's gathered. And I helped craft it along with another friend. I says, "I think they wanted me to do this all along." And he says, "I think you're right." And so that was the beginning of COVID. She and I isolated. And then when I saw that they were going to close Virginia Tech the next year and maybe beyond, I retired. And before I retired, I decided to go to my cardiologist because I had 4 heart attacks and quadruple bypass.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I don't look like that now, do I? No. That's because when I got to the cardiologist, he said, "Okay, let's do a stress test to make sure you're okay. It might take you a while to find a good cardio down there." So we put it on the treadmill, and he kept going and going and going, and he had me sweating bullets, man. I thought I was going to pass out. And I stopped, and he said, "Okay, come on into my office." And I went, cleaned off, dried off, whatever, went into his office. And he said, "Tell me what's been going on." I says, "I've just been following your orders, taking my medicine, trying to get a little exercise, tried to keep my weight down, which I needed to do more on." He says, "Nah, that's not what I'm talking about." I says, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "If I wanted to, I couldn't charge you anymore for coming in here because your insurance wouldn't pay for it." I says, "Why that?" He says, "Because this stress test with all of the EKG we did show that you have a 100% functional heart. It's the heart of an athlete 30 to 40 years old. I've had athletes come from the university that cannot do what you just did on that treadmill. You don't have any heart damage." And I said, "I have a coronary bypass and 4 heart attacks." He says, "No, your heart is 100% functional." And that was it. I just knew that something miraculous happened. So that was the moment, Danny, when I said, I cannot be objective where Chris is concerned. I'm going to be friends with him and his family. I'm not going to be a scientist. So I withdrew from doing science and just became his friend. So I have watched these people encroach on him, and I have zero confidence that they have good intentions. But he is
You have zero confidence.
That
they have good intentions.
They have good intentions. I don't believe they have good intentions.
Right.
I don't have proof, but it's this feeling inside.
Right.
And look, I love this guy. I love this man and his family. He's my brother. Very nice man.
I love them a lot.
But
They're
he is a super patriot from North Carolina that was raised in an evangelical church kind of mentality. Mm-hmm. And if the government comes and wants his help, he's going to help them no matter what. And I just don't know what is going on. I don't understand the role of Jim Garrison and all those people that are trying to get stuff going. Jim Garrison has this deal now, this World Alliance that used to have Gorbachev in it as his world spokesman. And now Chris is, as Jim Garrison himself said, Chris is the new Gorbachev for this. And I just have no good feeling about any of it. But he's my friend, and I'm not deserting him because I want to be there in case he needs me.
Grilling season is finally here, and let's be honest, the difference between a good cookout and a great one is the quality of your meat, which is why I use ButcherBox. For over a decade, ButcherBox has led the industry with meat and seafood that's antibiotic-free, hormone-free, and independently verified. Because when it comes to fueling your body, quality isn't extra, it's everything. Clean, whole protein means better support for strength, metabolism, and that steady all-day energy we're chasing. ButcherBox sends over 100 premium protein choices from grass-fed beef, free range.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, he died at Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
And
take
in
out
the
my
beginning,
dog.
Povenmire was supposed to be monitoring Chris for NASA, and in the end, he wound up adopting them as a family, and vice versa.
Right.
And he was just all the way inside, graduations, everything. He went to every family event, like me. You go and meet these people, and you realize they may not understand what's going on, but they are completely 100% genuine. They don't lie. They may not get stuff right, but they don't lie. They're not the kind of people that lie.
Right. Well, they're certainly, it doesn't mean they're immune to being screwed with by outside forces.
No. Look, I am certain that Chris is being financially supported by people.
Yeah.
I'm certain of that without knowing the details.
Yeah, there's certainly outside forces that are trying their hardest to manipulate at whatever level, whether it be financial or at, if you want to talk about like some sort of like a disinformation, Paul Benowitz level, like maybe trying to convince him that this stuff is something it's not, to push some sort of narrative.
Okay, so I have one example of a thing I know about because I was involved. When I went to visit him, I proposed at the end of the visit, I said, I've seen your evidence. I propose an experiment. And the experiment is we're going to take somebody 1,000 kilometers or more away. We're going to set them up with a camera, not a camera we provide, but they have a camera. We're going to tell them to point it whichever way they want, no matter what. And you're going to ask your entities to go appear right in front of the camera as the shutter's going click, click, click. Now, how do I know it worked? The reason I know it worked is because after my heart attack and all this other stuff, I decided not to do that with him. But the house had to have been bugged because that exact experiment was put together by the people in the government who were around him, and he swears to me he did not tell them. So the house is bugged, and I know they're monitoring him. But that experiment was done in front of a ton of government witnesses, and that was the moment when they knew Chris was in communication with whatever this non-human intelligence is, because you can't sit there with your eyes closed and say, please go in front of the camera, and him have no idea where it is, no idea what direction the camera is pointed in, and do exactly what he asked them to do in front of many government witnesses.
Interesting.
And that was the thing that convinced him he was real. That's one. And the other thing is he warned several friends in Washington that if the Pope came to Philadelphia and they did not do something, he was going to be assassinated. That actually happened, and the assassination attempt was foiled.
Well, we had him down here at the beach, and we took him right across the street to Indian Rocks Beach, and Steve brought his camera, and we sat out on the beach with him and his wife and his daughter, Emily, for how long do you think that was, Steve? About 2 hours. Towards the end, maybe like an hour and 45 minutes into it, he was like praying to God. Like they were all praying, trying to get these things to show up. And about like an hour and a half, maybe hour 45 minutes into it, we started to see these things. Like I saw one like shooting star fly right over my head. And then out in the distance on the horizon, we saw an orb moving, and then it stopped, faded out, and then we saw another orb kind of like come out of the water where the water met the sky horizon. Here it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
I've
see
seen
that-
it.
see
I've
that
seen
red
this.
thing right there?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen this video.
This is what we filmed on the beach with him. And the only thing if I could explain this away, I could say maybe it's a boat that turned its lights on and then turned its lights off.
Well, the neat thing is you got an airplane to the upper left, and
the
there's
airplanes were flashing.
Yeah,
There was lots of
exactly.
airplanes. So
Yep.
that was not an airplane. Look, another one now going to the left.
Yep.
Now watch, that one will get brighter, and then it'll fizzle out. Look
Yep.
how crazy that is.
That happens every time with these orbs. So when I went with him to the beach at Wilmington, North Carolina,
Yeah.
We sat there for about an hour, and then over the next 2.5 hours, over 200 of them flew over in front of hundreds of people. And at the end, the pièces de resistance was these two gigantic orbs flew over, and they had wings.
Wow.
Looked like an orb with an angel wings. Flew right over the crowd. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Wow. His photos that he's been posting on Instagram are pretty insane.
Well, they are now because he has this fancy new high definition, low light level camera, and he's getting alphanumerics written on the wall of the orb. Something is trying to send a message. Yeah, you go look at his stuff now. Alphanumerics are on the wall of these orbs. Something is sending a message.
What kind of camera is he using?
I don't remember the details.
Oh my God,
Because
that sounds crazy.
I told you, I'm not directly involved, and I don't want to be directly involved.
Right.
I don't want to be used. I don't want to help him being used. This
Look at
all the sorts of stuff. And people go, oh, it's just out of focus. Bud, I got news for you. That is perfectly focused.
Apple Pro resolution. Thank you to Peter. Yeah, look at that, man. What is it, like super like slow motion too or something?
Yeah. Very high speed. And you can see the internal structure, and it is fully in focus.
Is it plasma?
I don't know what it is. I can't even hazard a guess. I would need more instruments to tell you whether it was plasma or
Can we
not.
catch one of those things?
Well, there's another one. This one is greenish, and you can clearly see letters and numbers typed on it.
Really?
Yeah.
On his Instagram.
On his Instagram. Somewhere on here, I don't remember which one it was.
Steve, you'll be able to find it maybe. It's probably huge. It's got to be huge.
That looks like it. That's it. Just see if
Oh,
it
I
plays.
see. Yeah.
Look at the digits.
Huh.
Yeah, look, something 350 something. But you think that's an out of focus object? No, it's completely in focus, and you can see the alphanumerics. Something is sending a message.
It's bizarre.
Yep. Life around Chris Bledsoe is bizarre.
Yeah, well, it's like those orbs are certainly real. I saw them with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what are they, and what is it about him that enables him to be able to summon those things and bring them in?
So his time with Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, those guys hooked him up to really fancy electroencephalographs.
Yep.
And they watched his brain separate into 2 halves and one become quiet and what's called the intuitive part light up.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew he would turn and look whenever that happened, wherever they were going to show up, and they showed up there.
Yep.
They got detailed evidence.
That's how I actually learned about Chris Bledsoe. It was in, I want to say it was like 2022 or 2023 maybe. I had that dude, one of those guys, Andy Bustamante, down here, and we were chatting. And he's like, Danny, I wanted to tell you about this. He's like, there's this guy. I can't get him out of my head. We did this show.
Yeah.
And I hooked him up to an EEG on top, or whatever thing it is you put in your head,
EEG,
to measure his brain waves and summon these orbs. And he's like, dude, I cannot figure out for the life of me what this could possibly be.
Me either.
He goes, the only thing I think of is it could be some sort of like secret DARPA black budget stuff, like maybe like low orbit satellites that they can move around.
No.
He's like, but I can't think of it. I can't explain it. And he's like, dude, you should get this guy on your podcast. And that's how I read his book. And then I invited him on.
I wrote all these satellite claims off because I'm the founder of Hawkeye 360, which is a satellite intelligence gathering company with small satellites, and it's done well. It IPO'd on the Dow Jones last week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you. I'm very happy about it, and I'll tell you why I did the company. I had a download of idea that would work. I couldn't get anyone to believe me, so I found a venture capitalist that would buy in. Of course, that gave him 51% of the company on day one, but never mind, I got going. And the reason I did it is I was certain that the method we were going to use, if it flew over in low Earth orbit, I could detect alien implants in human bodies. And I guarantee you, I can.
This is why you did it.
Why I did it. But that's not all it's good for. I mean, it's now found Chinese buildup on the Indian border and warned them before anyone else did that the Chinese were about to attack. It found illegal fishing vessels around the Galapagos Islands, and they confiscated and drove off all the illegal fishing that was in these protected waters around the Galapagos, and a bunch of other stuff. It's now officially included in the U.S. National Technical Means to do geospatial intelligence gathering from orbit as a commercial entity where the intelligence community buys data as a service. They didn't buy the satellites. They didn't pay for the satellites. They can't tell me what I can do with the satellites. They can tell me what I'm not allowed to do with the satellites. For example, I'm not allowed to help, guess what, Russia or North Korea or any of those.
Right.
Yeah, but that's Hawkeye.
How many satellites do you have?
So it's 60 now. It's going to be well over 100. 128 satellites is, I think, the ultimate goal.
Wow.
Yep. And the thing.
And you built these satellites?
Yeah, I came up with the entire concept, and so I patented it. My patents are public; people can go look at them. But often with these kinds of downloads, you realize that you have a good idea. You don't know everything you need to make it happen. So the thing I got very good at with these downloads was assembling teams that could help me. So we assembled a team, founded Hawkeye 360. And a few years later, here we are, direct from a startup to on the Dow Jones, direct. The company's worth over $1.5 billion now. And I tell you, when I started, I wanted to succeed in building one satellite. I had no idea. I literally did not have a clue where this was going.
And how does it work? What's so special about it?
Okay, so you get the kind of a picture. So there's 3 satellites, one at each corner of a triangle. They fly over. So pretend this microphone is the radio, and I want to try to find it.
Okay.
Moving over. Now I've got 3 looks at that signal.
Yep.
So the time from here to this satellite, time from here to this satellite, and the time from here to this satellite are all different. Time, difference of arrival of things that are moving at the speed of light, coming into a system like that where you know everything you need to know about these tells you where that thing is located. Okay. Then we had to come up with a method that didn't care what kind of signal it was, but was extremely sensitive, really, really sensitive. So with small antennas, it has the same signal gathering capability as an antenna hundreds of meters across. Hundreds of meters. And it doesn't matter the frequency. From 50 megahertz to well above into 10 gigahertz. It can find these signals anywhere on Earth. And the technology is going to get better and better and better. And it's going to totally transform geospatial intelligence gathering. So the big companies,
what are we today? We're Saturday?
Charge $1 billion or more for a single spacecraft or 2 spacecraft that is built from 10-year-old technology.
There's no way I killed him with the blind fire, right? Oh fuck, that scared me. I don't think I killed him with the blind fire, man. I don't even know where I was shooting, bro. There was a player, though, that's for sure. GG's, boys. Was fun playing with y'all. Damn, you brought your level 3 bud in here. What a great experience for him, right? What a great experience for your boy. Yo. What's our rubles up to? I think we're at like 45 mil. Like, liquid. And like our overall is 726. We're doing better than Did you just bully those kids? Hey, man. I spawned all the way over there. I was gonna go do my loot run, but I saw one guy. So I just peeked the corner after I ran and I blind fired. And I was like, yo, why is there no movement after that? Like, I peeked and there was, like, I went somewhere else. I repositioned and kept looking and nobody was moving. So I was like, yo, did I kill the guy? So I started rotating, go in the building, look by the window, don't see anything. I rotate through Cardinal over here, Armory. I'm starting to run this way. I jump on this here to look, and I see one guy standing. I kill him, and there's two more guys in here. Just fucking, one was prone, who shot me, and the other guy was here with like this big thing. Like, these Marines were ready to do something. Like, oh my god. Prestige 3? Guys. What are we doing? I wouldn't call that bully. Oh, he has the butt plug knife. The last guy, yeah, I kind of bullied him, I gotta say. He thought he had a chance. He thought. Other than that, how you doing, bro? I'll call that testing their friendship. I swear, man, when you die to a solo as a, like, squad, you're like, guys! It is pretty funny, I gotta say. I was gonna do my usual loot run and go kaboom, but I have a feeling if I do that, I'm dead for it. Nice, nice. Eating up them wings. Spicy wings. I hope. Nah, sometimes it doesn't have to be spicy, I gotta say. As long as that thing is bloody damn well seasoned. Yo, what type of fight did he put up? Yo. I mean, he tried. A for effort. That's all I have to say. A for effort. But the skill diff was literally the difference. God, I just cracked my back. My posture looks so weird on camera. Yo, what the? Do you? No, you don't. You probably don't see that, but yo, look at the power bank. It's getting fucked by the lamp. He did. The Prestige 3 though, he's the disappointment. So I think he's the first one that died. In my early days of streets, I didn't know you could open this door and just chill here. I came in to loot armory and there was a guy waiting for me here like this. Like, it's not real sometimes. I got guns out the wazoo right now. Found that last range, true. don't hear them. I'm gonna just reset, sell all their stuff, and go back in. They're there. He's fighting them. I'm gonna follow my first idea. Or else I'm gonna do something stupid and die for it. These damn allergies right now are fucking bad. Oh my god. But okay, he was Prestige 3 though, but these two? Was he live? Was Yex? What's his name? We might have killed the cheater. We might have killed a cheetah. Things are so cheap on the weekend. Because of all the weekend warriors coming out. Yeah, that's it. I'm bugged. Whoa. Whoa. Rewind. What? Since when? Did I forgore? Did I just forgore? I was not ready for that. Yo, did he come out with any new boots? Like, Jesus Christ, Yuki, you're Jesus Christ, you're built different. He made it already? It's gonna be crazy for sure. And a lady? Oh, yes. I saw it. Oh my god, yes, feed me, feed me. Green lady key tool. I'll take that. I think I'm like 4 ladies away to being able to get a freaking another thick case without spending too much. My mouse is fucked. Trying to free look somewhere and it's not letting me. I heard something. Could be skits.
На, блядь!
I was just about to say, like, how is that PMC not getting shot at?
Служивый на! Вон оно пыль!
So now, even if they're dead, glitched on it, they can still get on it. Ooh, that is dangerous, man. Especially if people don't know, like, just gonna get.
Сдохни, тварь! Сука, ёбаный! Чё обосрался, а? Чё ты где?
Yo, where the hell did I drop my bag? Forgot where I dropped my bag. GG's. Now, where the fuck is my bag? Pretty sure that guy was alone.
Сука, ёбнули нашего! Служи!
You have to keep bullets.
Фары врубай, Вань! Вроде никого.
Next 25? Yo.
Бам!
Oh, he found it in
Ничего ты
raid.
там сделаешь? Да вот, вот! Готов!
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, so it's gonna go. This.
А теперь тоже!
No fucking way. Did I not pop a Melvin in at the beginning of this raid? That's one, that's two. There was only two.
Щеми берцов! Вон он, сука!
probably gonna die to a player stab because I'm being like careless. Greedy.
Да хули! Вон он, сука! Левый!
Why did I pop that morphine? Ugh. Have Expo. Going a taxi there. You need some milk. Your mother. I didn't bring my fucking spare. Fuck! I have story though. Yeah? Yeah. And these rates that I'm living, I'm banking on them. Wait. Let that simmer. I'll be right back. Make coffee. didn't hear this one.
Tonight we try to find the light. So hard explain my heart in flame. Tonight we try to find the light. So hard explain my heart in flame.
I sell all of these. I can fit like this, yeah. Okay. Uy. They're expensive right now. I should be selling my shit, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. De muy pretenso, pero. Wait. What key was that? You can't put Damn, I sold everything and my stash value went down by like 100 mil. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to head out. I have to go to the store, buy some weed. And when I get back, I'm gonna watch the game. Alright, so on. I get back, I'll be ready. So we all good. This and what was it? What was it? What was it? It's right. Oh, the plates.